Everyman Driver Nation, coming soon, my detailed drive and review of the 2014 Mitsubishi Lancer SE with the all-wheel control, all-wheel drive system. There are a number of new standard features for 2014. I'll tell you all about that, and we'll take it for a spin to talk about the ride and handling, and of course, the all-important miles per gallon. Stay tuned right here on Everyman Driver. Everyman Driver Nation, buckle up. We're about to go on a first drive and review of the 2013 BMW X5 35D. The D stands for diesel. I'm Dave Erickson. Thanks for watching. Let's get started. So under the hood of the X5 is a 3-liter inline 6-cylinder dual overhead cam advanced diesel with a twin-powered turbo engine. This thing kicks out 265 horsepower, but more importantly, 425 pound-feet of torque. As far as fuel economy numbers, it's projected at 19 miles per gallon in the city and up to 26 miles per gallon on the highway. Let's take it out for a spin. So joining me now is Jared Herling with Camp BMW in Spokane, Washington, the only BMW dealership in the Inland Northwest. So it's a real treat to have you here and to loan us this vehicle for the afternoon. First of all, this is a diesel, and is that the biggest draw for people when it comes to this vehicle in particular?
You know, a lot of people come to the dealership and don't even consider the diesel, and when we talk about it and talk about the features and the benefits that it really can have for customers, people really like it.
Well, let's talk about the benefits of a diesel vehicle. First of all, it's got that truck sound almost, doesn't it? It has that clicking sound.
Yeah.
You know you've got some power behind the wheel.
You have a little bit of that diesel sound without it being intrusive, I think is probably the best way to describe it. And you step on the gas, it goes, and it gets better fuel economy too. I think if somebody were wanting to tow a boat or a trailer with a vehicle like this, the diesel really is the answer.
So let's talk about this. Behind the wheel here, let's talk about some of the styling on the inside here and what makes this vehicle special.
You have the electronic 6-speed shifter, really simple to use. There actually isn't even a connection between that shifter and the transmission itself. It allows the transmission to be placed more central in the car to help with that BMW 50/50 weight distribution that they're so well known for.
And let's talk about one of the biggest selling points, I think, maybe as an Everyman driver, is this torque factor. 425, 400, what is it?
425 foot-pounds of torque.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a big number. It's a truck number, and you feel it as soon as you touch it.
Absolutely. And this steering is pretty heavy.
Yeah.
This is a pretty firm steering experience. Is that just along the lines of a BMW or specific to this car?
It's really specific to this car. A lot of the other BMW models have gone with the electronic steering, and in the next iteration of the X5 in 2014, you will see an electronic steering, so it will be a little bit lighter. I like this feel. I understand the benefits of the electronic steering, but if you're looking for a traditional BMW feel, this one offers that, absolutely.
So who is the typical customer for a diesel vehicle in the BMW category?
I think maybe somebody that's had a truck in the past that appreciates that towing ability but is looking for something more family oriented. Anybody that has maybe smaller kids and is looking for that room in the back, or it reaches such a broad range. I think that's what the greatest part about it is. I happen to own one myself. I have a 3-year-old daughter. If I didn't have her in my life, I would probably still consider this car because of all the other benefits to it. The towing, the mileage is incredible, and for a 4-season climate like we are in here, it doesn't get any better in BMW's all-wheel drive system.
We'll talk about the fuel consumption here, because I talked about it earlier on the projection on what you can get miles per gallon, but this has got a huge fuel tank.
It really does. You have a over 500 miles that you can go on a tank of fuel, and that really, I think, is a convenience factor more than anything, and safety. You're not going to be stuck filling up somewhere you're not familiar with. Even if you take a long trip, chances are you can get there and back without even having to ever stop at a gas station. And I think a lot of people really appreciate that. And again, that's BMW's trying to get you on the road, enjoying the time with your family, as opposed to everything else that can happen in life.
Now, we're all very economically minded nowadays. Diesel prices, at least around the inland Northwest and Pacific Northwest, they're close to that $4 mark. And
they really are, yeah.
Generally speaking, maybe a quarter more a gallon versus unleaded or premium, let's say.
Sure.
But tell me about the benefits long term for someone who buys a diesel vehicle versus a traditional gasoline vehicle.
Well, number one is resale.
Okay.
I think that's really something that needs to be touched on. Although this is a relatively new model, the diesel X5 has retained its value better than the gasoline counterpart. And while a lot of people will still choose to go with the gas model, you can really easily overcome the diesel costs by that increase in resale value. Because a quarter, even over 1,000 gallons, we're only talking $250. The vehicle's worth $2,500 more in 3 years. That makes a big difference.
And this is something I don't know if the Everyman Driver understands or appreciates unless you do some real digging, but the longevity of an engine that uses diesel over gasoline, and I had to do some education on this myself because of what diesel is, the makeup of that type of fuel in the engine. Can you expand on that?
Absolutely. Diesel engines typically will run cooler than a gasoline counterpart, and that heat is the number one killer of an engine. And so if you can keep an engine cool, if you can filter that oil and keep it clean, the engine's going to last a long time. And diesel really takes advantage of that.
And the wear and tear on the components, filtering through diesel because it has oil in it, right?
It does, absolutely.
Okay.
You know, this also has the urea additive, and that's what helps maintain the really, really high CO2 emissions standards. So, and that's something you see on pretty much every modern diesel now, and that's why you see the ultra low sulfur diesel at the gas pump.
All right, let's take a look at the legroom and headroom in the back of the X5. And first off, you notice the leather interior, and boy, this is posh. I really like that. I like the different tones of color too, and a nice little dip here in the back of the driver's seat. This is actually where I was seated while driving, so look at how much knee room I have right back there. It's a panoramic sunroof, so when that's open, tons of light back here. And of course the O blank handles on both sides. Boy, this is very nice, but you know, you're gonna expect that with a BMW. And they have these shades here, sunshades, to keep you cool on those hot summer days. So headroom, legroom, top notch here in the back of the X5. I'm pretty pumped to show you the cargo area and access to the back of the X5 because there's a couple of surprises here that I think you might enjoy. I know I did. First of all, press the button here on the key fob to unlock the lift gate, and once you do, there's a button just below the BMW icon, and you have to let it go on its own because it's motorized right here. Don't want to press it any faster than it'll go. And here's the first big one, is this drop down gate right here. This is what you'd find in a pickup truck of all things, and you have one here on the X5, which I kind of like because now you can sit back here and do some tailgating. I mean, that's pretty cool. And it still's got a lot of width here and depth for cargo space, and those back row seats do fold down to give you even more volume. And there's the second area, which I think is kind of cool. Below the floorboard here is another huge area for storage. So a lot of versatility back here in the back of the X5, which I think you'll like. I really do like this drop-down tailgate. And once you want to close it, just press this button here, and it goes down automatically. And that is your cargo room and access to the back of the X5. The beginning MSRP here on the 2013 BMW X5 35D is just over $56,000. I also have the premium package, which includes navigation, leather, and too many other items to list. So what you see right here is just over $62,000. It's definitely worth a look and a test drive. I had a lot of fun, and I want to thank my friends over at Camp BMW. Visit them at campbmw.com. Until next time, I'm Dave Erickson for Everyman Driver. Take care.